Good morning, Bruce. Well, here's what I'm going to try to do for you. How I did this was, as you know, there's your 2x4 or 2x6 rafters. In this case, it's a 2x4. But what I did was I didn't want just 4 inches of shelf. Here, let me find you an empty shelf here somewhere to give you a better explanation. Ouch. Here's that TV I bought, and I just crammed my toe, my little one, into the side of the box. I got these sandals on. Okay, here's a good way of showing you. So, what I did was I extended the 2x4 with another piece, which is like, I think maybe, I don't know, maybe another 2x4 that I cut down, and I just added it to that, to the existing 2x4 in there. You can see how this one here, I just cut down other 2x4s and I added it to it. You can see where this is, where this one here, maybe if I back up some, you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So, oh, and even up there, let's see if you can see what I'm talking about. See how they extend out from the 2x4 itself? Well, I just added another piece of 2x4. I took 2x4s and I cut them, I believe, down. I stripped them down to like I could get 3 pieces out of a 2x4, and I just added them to the exterior, to the outside of the 2x4. And these here, this is just a sheet of plywood. Now you can use reclaimed wood, like those lats that are in the inside of plaster. If you can find somebody that's tearing out a wall, ask them if you can have all those lats and clean them up, and you can use those lats. But in my case, on my old garage, that's how I did it. Maybe I got a picture of it somewhere. But on my first garage, that's what I used. I used all reclaimed wood. But on this one, I decided, well, it's a lot easier without having to clean all that up. So then what I did was I cut individual, I just got a cheap piece of plywood. Okay, you can use whatever you want to use. And I cut them down to the same width from the back of the 2x4 to the very front of the size of my shelf. You can have all different kind of shelves coming out, you know, just depending on how much you want to extend it by this piece. Then what I did was I just cut individual pieces, okay? As you see here, I cut individual pieces to the height of the 2x4. And then what I did was I just nailed them with finishing nails to the existing 2x4. Then I put my shelf in. This is just something else I had laying in here. I used to raise up something. But anyways, with the same thickness of the plywood that I used here, I made individual shelves. Well, what you do is you just lay this shelf onto this one here, and then you make another piece depending on how high you want your boxes. Then you put 2 more sides on it, very simple. Then you lay another shelf. Then you do the same all the way up. Okay, and what this is just an edge to hold everything in place. Okay, now you can also do it where all different sizes. Okay, you can make whatever size you want, up and down. And I made sizes down here. Of course, here I've got electrical running through here, so I had to block it off somehow. That's my 220 and my 110, so it didn't I don't get electrocuted. But I made them down there for paint size cans. Okay, you can also make them where you make a box about that big, or however big you want it, and you can put a big face on it and then cut down like a little lamp and throw all your nuts and bolts and stuff in there to hold them. You just, if you want to have nuts and bolts, it's a fun project. Oh, the window, I put bars on the window, so I just covered the bars with that to make shelves, just so nobody can come in. A security measure. If you probably know how to take care of the bars, right? I'm sure you do. Where you take you put more existing 2x4s, but what you do first is you drill holes in them. I don't know if you can see that. Drill holes in them and put your bar in there. In that case, it's just whatever I had laying around. I use bars. If I were you, I'd try to make them where they look more uniform than what I did. But that's how I more or less did it. Oh, we got a bee in here. But that's how I more or less did it. Well, here you go. This is what I took out because I wanted to do something else. But see, this is where I had one of the shelves, and then I did that. Then, of course, you know, same thing on this side. And then it goes to your next shelf, of course, and then you got to add another piece, so on and so forth, all the way up. That's how I did that. I'm gonna probably just video this, just send this video out to you. Nobody else can see it because it's basically just for you anyway. Nobody else is really interested. And if you want, you can make a video out there for everybody else out there that's interested in it. But yeah, that's how I did it, and I'm really, I like it. I get a lot of compliments on the organization of it, but when you go to try to find something, it's like I'm always moving stuff, and too bad I just didn't have the patience to computerize it and just, you know, hit what I need and it'll tell me right where it's at. But I'm always looking for something. But at least it's out here. I know I got it. So there you go, Bruce. Have a good day. See ya.